Hey everybody, welcome to Garrett's Games. My name's Doug.
My name's Shelley.
And we are a podcast and video series about board and card games. This time we're doing part 2 of our discussion of games to take on summer vacation. You're going to the cabin, you're going to the lake house, you're going to the beach, wherever the case may be, you're going to have, a relaxing time with people who play games, maybe, or maybe don't even play games, but games are definitely not as important in their lives as they are for some of us. Yeah. So you want to bring some that are hopefully going to bring people to the table. Maybe they have, get them excited about games.
Maybe they look cool.
They look cool, exactly. They play a lot of players. Yeah, quick to learn, of course. Now, some of these, actually, a lot of the ones that we're talking about are older games, so they're not brand new games. Right. Some of them might not be available or readily available at your local Target, but some of them definitely are. Right. But you can definitely go online and check for them on Amazon and at other game retailers if you're interested. So let's go through our games from summer vacation, part 2. All right, Shelley gets to start. So what are you going to play? Yeah, we got 5 each.
Well, Cabanga is a fun game because you have cards that you put down and you're trying to get your cards as close to the ones that are there. Yeah. So when you play them down, and they have to go in certain colors.
And you want to get rid of your cards.
And you want to get rid of your whole hand. Yes. First person to do that wins.
Yes.
So basically, so if you can't play or you choose not to play because you're afraid someone else is going to have a card that's better than yours, you draw a card.
Yes, but you've got different colors and a range that is set up, and you're playing on either one side or the other to try to keep that range as close as possible. Because if anybody has a card between that range, they cough up their cards,
they say
and
Cabanga,
you have to draw.
And you have to take you take their cards.
No, you draw cards.
Oh, that's right.
You draw cards.
We didn't get a chance to play this one again, but it is fun.
So this is all premised on the fact that we had a lake house getaway, and we played only 4 of the games that we brought of the 20. So this was one that we wanted to play. This one plays up to 6 players. Really fun. We've played it at Meeple Fest and other places. Yeah, it's very fun. There's Cabanga. All right, my first one is one that we have played with, I think, 70 people.
Yeah, this is a big game.
Big game.
You can play it with many, many, many people.
Exactly. This is what we like to call Gamers Bingo. It is called Take It Easy.
Way better than Bingo.
Way better than Bingo. Yeah. But everybody has a set of the same exact hex tiles, and you are going to be... one person is the caller, theirs are face down, and they are going to be drawing randomly a piece, and then everybody has to place that piece somewhere on the board.
On their individual board.
On their individual board, exactly. And you'll notice that the numbers, like the 9s, for example, have a vertical line through them, whereas the 8s have a line that goes from upper left to lower right. And if you have a line of 8s that goes from edge to edge, or a line of 9s that goes from at the end of the game,
and that's when all the pieces are put out.
Right. But not all of the pieces go onto the board. No, that's one of the keys. But you are trying to score the most points, and you only score if you get that uninterrupted line, and it's the number of tiles times the number that is in that uninterrupted line. So if I had a line of 3 8s, I'm going to get 24 points. But if I had a line of 2 8s and then something else interrupted it, 0 points. Really fun.
So it's cool because everybody's playing the exact same pieces on their board.
Exactly.
And you can see how much range there was for the scores. And it can be quite a range. And all you have to do is get multiple copies of the game.
Which we do.
Then you would just play, the caller would say it, and everybody would find that piece and put it where they wanted to on their board. It's really fun.
Very fun. Didn't get to play it, but I played it a lot, even at Meeple Fest, and then also with my kids in the classroom.
Yes.
Speaking of kids in classroom.
This is one that I played a ton in the classroom.
We've talked about this a lot.
It's called Just One, and of course it is an amazing game. It's so much fun to play with a big group.
Spiel des Jahres winner in 2019.
Right. So so basically you have one person who's doesn't know what the word is, and everyone else sees the word, and then they have to write on the little whiteboard a clue, but it's only one word clue. Mm-hmm. And
only one person can have any particular clue. So then
you show the other person's not looking.
All the clue givers.
And then if you have anyone that's the same, you can't show it.
Exactly.
So you're trying to think outside the box and
give a good clue that somebody else is not going to give, but that will get the person to guess the thing. So say the word
chocolate, that's the one they have on the back of this thing. Maybe you say brown, or maybe you say yummy, or something like that. But you want to not say maybe cocoa or something.
Right. You could say Hershey's, but maybe somebody else is going to have Hershey's,
say
right?
Twix or something like that.
Exactly.
But still. Yeah, so you're trying to say something so that they then guess. It's that person. Basically, you're playing against the game.
Yes, exactly.
So it's a cooperative.
Fun one. All right. Now for a couple of older titles. First one is Viva Pamplona. This is by Wolfgang Kramer, a Mount Rushmore in the gaming world, if you will. This is a game of the running of the bulls in Pamplona, where you are trying to keep your pawn ahead of the bull, but just ahead of the bull. You don't want to get to you don't want to get to the end point too early, because of course if you get there too early, you're only going to get a few points, and you're also of course slipping backwards on the tomatoes, and you're trying to get, and sometimes the bull may attack and you want to be just in front of the bull. So really a fun little race game that has some nice twists. That is Viva Pamplona.
This one is called Beer and Pretzels, which is a fun game, and we have played this with a group.
Yeah, we have.
And it's really fun, and we've even done it with teams.
Yes.
So there's only I think there's what, 4?
There's
4 or
6
5?
Actually if you had the expansion.
There's 6 colors in the game.
Yes.
So you all have the same coasters, and you're tossing coasters in, and you're basically trying to get your coasters to be visible and within this
within
ring.
the line.
There's a like a yellow rope. But you can have your pieces go outside as long as they're touching.
Yeah.
But then people try to throw their piece on top of your piece, so if it covers up part of your scoring, then you don't get all those points. So there's some of them have one thing in the middle, some of them have 4 on the edge, so maybe you cover up one of theirs or something like that.
So Beer and Pretzels from Bezier Games, a really fun one too. All right. This was probably the heaviest game that I brought, though it's still pretty light. So if you're thinking about like Ticket to Ride level type game, that would be this one. But I thought, well, we're going to be outdoors.
Sure.
We're up in Tahoe. We did a hike. We might see a bear. So
no, we did not.
Trekking the National Parks is a really beautiful game about trying to go to the national parks. You're trying to get certain things to fulfill what the national parks require as you wander around the United States. And it's a multi-use card game, so you're using the cards not only for either A, movement, or B, to do the fulfillment of the cards when you get to a national park. This one plays up to 6 players, so I thought it might be nice for that. Didn't get a chance to play it, but it is really a nice, solid family-style game. Of these, probably the heaviest. But that's still pretty light.
They're different, though.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm not sure that the one. Yeah. Okay. So the other one we didn't get a chance to play, but we brought.
This is so heavy.
It's so heavy. It's called Hamsterrolle, and it's really cool because it's this big ring. And,
as you can hear, there's pieces in the box.
Huge pieces, and of course it's going to roll.
Oh yeah, you got it.
It's going to roll. It's going to roll, and you're trying to not have pieces fall off, because the pieces that fall off, you have to personally take.
Right, and you've got to place them, and there are these little slots. Yeah. So if you figure that there's a little thing like this, and you're trying to position it, so and you can build on top. It just has to be a little bit further along your piece than what anybody has previously placed.
So you can place it right on top of their piece.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
So this is fun if you were thinking you wanted to play like a Jenga or a
dexterity type game. Yes, for sure. Another one that I played a lot with my kids, because it plays up to 7 players, and because there's secret roles, nobody could pick on Mr. Garrett. All right, and this is called Heimlich Company. It is also Top Secret Spies, and so it's still actually pretty well available.
Cool.
It is, as you see, 1986 when this won the Spiel des Jahres, Game of the Year in Germany. You are all spies. You have these big, chunky, awesome pieces. Cool. You're going around the board here, moving around the center of these spots with these big chunky wooden pieces, and you can move any piece, and it's a roll and move game, but you can move any piece, and if you roll a die value more than 1, you actually can move any piece. Any of the pips of the die can be used to move any of the pieces. So I got a 6. I could say, I'm going to move these two 2 each, so that's 4 of my 6, and I'm going to move this one 2 more steps, all right?
So then people are trying, they can't figure out who you are.
Right, they're trying to figure out which is your piece.
You're a little smack talk.
Yeah, they're just a little.
Yeah, it's pretty
It worked really well at school, I will tell you. Very fun.
That's a great game.
Now, of these, the 2 of the ones that we're talking about today that we did get to play are very different, but work really well. So Shell's got one of them.
Well, this is called Ito, and it's got over 400,000 copies sold.
A lot of copies sold,
so it's a very, very good game.
Yeah.
And it is a wonderful game to play with a lot of people.
It says up to 10 players, exactly.
Yeah, so the more you play, the more people, probably the more fun.
Right, exactly.
But basically with this game, you have a clue, and you have a 0 to 100.
Yeah.
And you're trying, you know your number, it's been passed out.
Everybody gets a number that's between that.
And then you're trying to get something to go so you can...
That's the numbers.
That's the numbers.
Here they are. There you go.
Things or actions that take bravery. And then a 1 would be, what did it say? A 1 is
not brave, and a 100 would be very brave. And so say I had 15, I've got to think of something that's not very brave, but is braver than 1 through 14 would be, right?
Because you're trying to, then when you put, and anyone can jump in, right?
Right.
So you play your piece down and people are like, okay, how would mine compare to that?
Exactly.
And then you're trying to think of something that other people would understand to fill that in.
Yes.
I mean, the categories are really fun.
It's one of those, just kind of social social lubricant games, if you will. It gets everybody talking. I mean, we played it a couple of times over the course of our stay.
Oh yeah, for sure. And that was many times we played.
People were talking about one of the answers like the next day. It was like a history one, and we were dealing with social studies teachers. Those social studies teachers.
Yeah, like
so they're like, which is worse? Is it like the plague, or I forget? It was like.
yeah. So people said a time in history that you would like to go back to. So that would be like closer to 100.
Yeah.
And then the ones that you would
not want to go back to. Right. Exactly.
So we had the plague down there.
The plague was one of them, and there was 2 things that they were balancing out, and I forget which. It was like, well, the plague, it wiped out a third of Europe, but and you didn't know who. But then this one, and I forget what the specific one was, but you were like definitely targeted, so it wouldn't have been good. Then, so it was really fun. That's Ito. Yeah, and the last one. Last but not least, is a definite classic and one that needs to be republished. This is The Last Kamel. And this is the idea from the 1001 Nights, the story about a race. And in this game, you want to be the very last camel on the race. So you've got a board. You are rolling, and you're rolling dice.
You have a secret
You're given a secret camel that has 2 colors on it. So this would be the yellow-blue camel.
So if I had that, I'd be trying to make that one go in.
So you want this one to come in last. But notice that they share the colors. Great pieces, by the way. And you can move any camel forward the space or spaces, depending on what gets rolled.
There's a while.
If it's a black, then you can move any camel back a space. If it's the gold one, move any camel forward a space. If it is color specific, then you have to choose which of the blue camels you want to move forward. And then what makes the game
great things with the game.
What makes the game that much better is you have, for some reason, these camels can jump. And so if you move a camel onto a spot where there are already some camels, that camel that you moved has to move forward again as many spaces as there are camels on the space it originally landed on.
And also, there's the other thing is that you can't just keep going really far ahead. They stay pretty close because the oasis kind of holds you back.
And this is one of those things that it makes the game that much better. You've got oases. So here's the start. If somebody were behind this oasis, these people can't move forward until everybody is at least at the oasis behind.
Which makes you feel like you're still in the game.
Exactly.
And also it makes it so that you're going to most likely land on places so that you can do the camel jump. jumping.
Definitely.
And also, you keep playing. You don't say, "Oh, that was me," when someone
No.
goes out first.
No.
You keep
No.
playing.
You keep playing.
And yeah,
and it's really fun. And this is another game where Chris thought she was losing, but she wound up winning, just like in Russell Bonda, the pig game that we talked about on the previous video. Great games, both classic and new. That check your shelves, see what you got. These are games that we hadn't played in a while, especially Last Camel. We hadn't played in a while, and it was so fun to get that one out, and everybody had a great time with it. We'd love to hear what games you use on your vacations. Put those down in the comments, and remember, subscribe to this video YouTube channel. Make sure you give us a thumbs up and ring the bell so you find out about when the next video gets released. Have a great one. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.